Yes.
About 4 minutes into the game, you were trying to get AZ to move up the floor a little quicker. You pulled her out at the next stoppage of play, and then when she went back in, she was like a different player. Did you just tell her to be more aggressive?
No, I just think, you know, when you haven't played a lot, I think the first 3 or 4 trips up the floor are the hardest. And I just thought she was laboring a little bit. And I thought if she would come out, get her second wind, and then go back out, she'd be okay. No, I didn't say anything. That's why these guys are playing so well right now. I don't talk to them.
She played probably her best game of the
I think so.
season, though.
Yeah,
Right?
I think so. I mean, when it's a little bit of everything, that's when she's playing her best, right? When it's a little bit of, you know, attacking the basket, this pull up, this three, that's when AZ's at her best, you know? So I thought for her, it was a great way to, you know, to play a game where Paige is not in the game, and usually we'll get 2 or 3 buckets in the first 2 or 3 possessions from Paige. And I was hoping that AZ would do that in the first quarter and give us something like that. Took a little bit of time, but I thought she stepped up and had a great game.
You on AZ, you know, she's unfortunately had like you said, pause and come back so much in this past 3 years. Did you notice anything differently how she's approached this most recent pause and come back, and how she's just handling that with, you know, knowing this, knowing that she doesn't have much time left in her college career?
Now, I talked to the team about, we're almost at the halfway mark, right? Today was game 15 or 16. How many? I don't know.
16.
Somewhere like that. 16. So we're almost at the halfway mark if you count the NCAA tournament. Fingers crossed, you know. So I did remind them how fast this goes. That it just, you know, flies right by you, and you really don't have the opportunity to just go out and work your way back in and mail one in and say, well, you know, I'll wait 3 more games to get myself going. And I said, that's why I'm so impatient at practice, and I'm so, you know, demanding of them to get better fast, because I know how fast this goes by for them. And yeah, I don't, you know, some of the older guys, you know, there's really not much you can say to them. They know what they're doing. You know, a lot of times they just want some reinforcement, you know, encouragement. I'm not really the right guy to go to for that stuff.
How good was it for Allie just to, you know, have a night like she had tonight, see the shot start to fall with some consistency?
The best part of the night was Jamel and Tanya looking at me, because I turned around and looked at them, and they go ahead, say it. You know, because I didn't want to say, I told you so. I said, she starts making shots, they're going to go in. A lot of them are going to go in. And she's not hesitating. And the thing that I am harping on, just nonstop, is you really got to know who you are and know yourself, trust yourself, and say, why did Coach Auriemma recruit me? Why did he bring me here? Well, because I can do this, this, and this. Well, now do that every day. Then, if you win or you lose, you did it your way. The worst thing is you come to practice, you go to a game, and you don't even recognize the person that you are playing, because you've completely lost who you are. So, to Allie's credit, for the most part, she knows who she is. She knows this is what I do, man. I'm aggressive with the ball, and she's getting better defensively. But I hope we can play her a lot down the stretch, you know, because and she can. I remember way back, Kalena Mosqueda Lewis, her freshman year, she played 31 minutes a game. She led the team in minutes played. And we had like Hall of Famers on that team. And she said, somebody said, why she played 31 minutes? I said, because in a 4-minute stretch, she could blow the game wide open. And I think Allie's the same way.
You know, you're doing some full court press. How do you think the team's reacting to that, and what are you looking at?
Actually, I'm surprised sometimes that teams turn it over, because I don't know that it's great. I mean, I think we play hard and we try hard, and you know, we take some risks. Some guys out there are better than others, don't get me wrong. And when there's a certain lineup out there, you know, we do create opportunities for ourselves. But sometimes teams just throw it away for whatever reason. And so we're out there trying to figure out, can we press this team or not? And if we can, we just keep doing it. And if we can't, then we stop. But what we're getting is, it forces them to play with a lot of energy. And it forces them to extend themselves. And I like that. And it carries over into everything else that we're doing. So basically, that's the main reason.
Geno had 9 points in that third quarter. What do you think got her going there? And is what she was doing out there kind of what you've been hoping for from her?
Jenna? Yeah. Yeah. Jenna has this look on her face, right, when she plays. Like, you can never tell what she's thinking. She's very serious. Like, there's not a lot of, you know, joy in her face when she's playing. This is like serious for her. And she beats herself up when she's not playing well, or she's not doing something that she's supposed to be doing, that she thinks she can do. So for her, anytime she has success, anytime things go her way, I just think that fuels her for the next time, and the next time. I don't know that that there's a secret formula. It's just she needs to play, and she needs to play through whatever it is, and then we have to, you know, get what we get, and hope that we keep getting more each and every game.
You know, when you're able to extend, you know, give the bench extended minutes, what are the things you look for when you look at, say, like an Allie, who's trying to find a way to get into the rotation and get more playing time? What are the kind of things you look for, you know, when that game's decided and, you know, they still have to put out the 100% effort that you want?
Yeah. I would say, realistically, if you have 10, 11, 12 players on your team, can you play your way into the rotation? I mean, sometimes you've been there all of October, all of November, all of December, and if you're not in the rotation, like, do you really have an opportunity to play your way into the rotation? What are you going to do? You know, I always say to people, you can't come out here and think you're going to shoot your way into the rotation in September, October, November. You're going to have to do some other things, because we have a lot of guys that can score, you know, generally speaking. So we're missing a player today, and that gives an opportunity to someone else. Now you take advantage of that opportunity and you do what you're good at. And does that get you more playing time? Maybe. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't push you further back. You know, I think when you play the way Allie played today, you shoot it the way she shot it today, it certainly gives the coaching staff something to think about, something to consider. And that's always a good thing. But I always knew she could do what she did today. That's why we recruit her. I've seen her do that to everybody that she's ever played. Good teams, great teams, bad teams, EYBL, state tournaments. She does that to everybody. Yeah, Dom. Oh,
No.
yeah.
you know, obviously not the way that you wanted this to happen, but your team was kind of forced into learning how to play, or continuing to learn how to play without Paige. How do you think they did that, and what else are you hoping for them to learn?
Yeah, somebody asked me whether there was going to be a learning curve. Except for the freshmen, these guys have played without people their whole career here. So they take it as in stride. So there was no looking around. There was no, in practice, hesitancy or apprehension or, you know, let's look to Paige and where is she? We've been through this so many times. You know, and probably knowing that she'll be back soon, maybe made it a lot easier, you know. I want them to learn to trust themselves, trust each other. You know, obviously they know if we have any chance to do something great this year, Paige has to be a part of it. But that doesn't mean that they should pass up opportunities to get better. And I thought they took advantage of that today.
Coach, we know how impressive Sarah has been so far during her freshman year. Specifically on the defensive end, knowing today that she had a lot of really impressive plays, both in the paint and on the perimeter to push the break and get you guys more opportunities to score. How valuable is that in a young player? But specifically knowing that Paige wasn't playing today to ignite your offense and give you that extra push that you need on offense?
She makes plays that are not necessarily teachable plays, and she does things that only people who have tremendous basketball instincts can do. She has a tremendous feel for the moment. So there wasn't any conversation or any sense of, hey, we're going to be missing Paige. You need to do more. You need to step it up. You need to be more of a... again, I didn't say a word about that to her. And she actually had less points today than she's been getting. You know, she played less minutes, but I don't worry about Sarah. I think she's just a young kid who's playing a game that she's always played, and she doesn't let anything get in the way of it. She doesn't clutter her mind with stuff, and so I don't go up to her and clutter it. You know, I just want to leave it the way it is, and there'll be plenty of time as she gets older for me to clutter her up. She's too young for that right now.
Geno, I know that you know, players can't play their way into the rotation because of who's above them, obviously.
Right.
But what they can do, I imagine, is earn your trust.
Sure.
Do you have more players that you trust this year than maybe you've had in a while?
Yeah. Yeah. With my car keys, but not with my life. A couple of them, you know. I do think that having depth is, in and of itself, that's a good thing, I guess. Having quality is a great thing. Having trustworthy players that's the ultimate. That it's like the old Steve Kerr thing, right? You know, just sit there and watch until I go, hey, and then come in and bury a couple without ever touching the ball, and then go back to your spot and wait for me. You know, to have someone who you know you can trust, who you know that the minute you call on them, they're going to give you exactly what you want. And that's every coach's, you know, every coach's dream to have a number of those players, and that they're mature enough to say, Well, the way I will get a lot more minutes is if one of the other guys in front of me gets hurt or plays lousy. And if you're a kid who cares, you're not going to wish on either of those two things. So you just are ready, I'll be ready when you call me coach. And that's, man, I can't even put into words how much that means, to me as a coach. So yeah, we have a couple more than we've had in the last couple of years. Yeah, we do. We do. And I think they're going to come in handy as the season goes on.